I don't know, man. Give me something. Give me just give. I'm feeling frisky today. How about that? Is that a good word?
Go for it.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it's
don't say
already, it's
frisky.
already there.
Don't say
It's already,
frisky.
you already
It's
said it.
already there.
Don't say, hey, they got Ellen out the paint. I'm not saying frisky. Edit that out, Lex. I'm so serious. Don't leave it in there.
All right, so as soon as I read this, I had to ask.
Okay.
So
Oh,
we're gonna
shit.
go with the Frank Ocean Unsolved Mystery.
Fuck, he would start there.
I want to know what that is too.
No, because you weren't there yet, and you would have appreciated it in real time. So, anybody who hadn't seen our stories, and it's my sister's birthday, so we go to Tahoe, an amazing trip. Teen, you did a great job.
Good job. Good job.
The music's on, and Pyramids comes on. Mind you, it's a table full of niggas. The women are like around, but it's mostly niggas sitting at the table. Everybody's singing Pyramids, and I'm like, oh,
Cleopatra.
wait, don't hit that note. Don't you hit that note.
And, just with the voice leaving.
Oh, everybody's singing, Lex, and I go, huh? I don't know, because so many people hopped off the wave when Frank penned his open letter about his sexuality. Shit, exactly. Does it?
Frank could love goats for all I care. I need.
Frank could love goats.
Bro, thinking about you is one of the more amazing songs that you can create.
So,
like writing wise.
So did Frank crack the code?
He was able to talk about love in general, like not like love to something
Did
specific.
Frank crack the code, G?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, that's my unsolved mystery. I felt like our man's cracked the code in a real way, to where while now niggas are not, like you said, it's just a general sort of like, oh, this shit jamming. You give a fuck what he's talking about. So,
Also, you think Frank is what gave the movement liberation?
yes and no.
Because that was a very mainstream move.
What were we saying about Frank? Cracking the code?
Like code, yeah.
Crack the code.
Crack the code.
Da Vinci Code.
Was first
Have you watched Da Vinci Code?
Da Vinci Code?
Da Vinci. Oh, yeah, Da Vinci Code. My
Yes. Is that that's our man? That's Tom
Tom
Hanks, huh?
Hanks?
Yeah. Right?
Have you guys seen the sick shit about Tom Hanks?
Oh no, he wasn't on the Epstein Island, was he?
Man, there's all sorts of weird shit with Tom Hanks going on.
Are you serious? Tom Hanks?
Nigga, Tom Hanks.
Well, his son was running around here calling people niggas, so I don't doubt it.
They're talking about all sorts of shit. Like, there's so much shit I can't remember all of it. The only thing I can remember is they were talking about how when he was saying that he was sick with COVID,
I'm about to say, you also like you had COVID.
That he wasn't.
he wasn't really sick. He was just staying out of the country because all the shit with kids and all that shit coming up. And
So he was in the Epstein shit, or this is something separate.
nah, they're saying that it's connected with the Epstein
Get
shit.
the fuck
And then
outta here.
on his Instagram, he always takes pictures of little gloves, of like random gloves that you find walking on the street. And he
Nigga,
takes
who's just
pictures
walking
of
around
them.
finding gloves? Not me.
Hey,
I've never just walked around and seen no
and then
glove
they
on
were
the
talking
ground.
about like one of the gloves that he took a picture of was right off of a street where a dude was killed. The dude who killed was trying to break the conspiracy of celebrities who go through the little child trafficking and brought up his name. There's all sorts of weird conspiracy shit about him.
Well, I take that back. I claimed him. Like really felt like without hesitation. It was like, oh, that's our nigga. Like universally.
Yeah,
And you was just gonna leave me out there, huh?
I didn't know that part. but I did have the theory that they faked the COVID thing, but I thought it was more so to streamline the drugs though. But
With him and with your man up in Seattle.
yeah, because you would need you need somebody of that level, of that tier, to make it to increase the level of seriousness to it.
Huh. So we're hopping all over the place.
Oh, my bad. It was
No,
just
no. Good shit.
No, because Lexus dropped a bomb, so like it just left everybody a little weary.
Yeah. But my unsolved mystery thing about Frank is: was there a code to ever crack? Do people care about your sexuality as much as they pretend to? And if they do, did Frank crack the code and get niggas to be like El said, I don't give a fuck what he's into. The music's just that good.
I feel like he did crack the code there, but now people don't care as much.
But you do think people care then, though.
I think people cared then, but now they don't care that much. But still, people hope to come out that way with releasing music, thinking that everybody still cares. But now it's been done so much that people just like, oh dang.
I think people are willing to look past a lot of things if the talent is there. So like, it can be a think piece for people or whatever to talk about some of these things, but it's not as important if the person is super talented.
I guess there's a part of me that wants to be empathetic. I don't think empathetic is the word, but I'm gonna use it for the sake of trying to flush out this conversation. It's not. I'm admitting that it's not the word, but I'm gonna use it for now. There's a part of me that wants to be empathetic and try to understand why people's sexual orientation mattered at one point. But if I'm being honest, it's kind of weird. It's kind of strange when it's like, yo, such and such is just really, really dope at this. Oh, but she likes girls, right? Fuck does that mean? Like, what does that have to do with it? Feels like such a moot point to like you go out of your way to do that or to say that as if it's undermining their product or what this person has produced. Like, that was a thing. And I know I'm speaking in hindsight, so I have the benefit of hindsight, but it's always felt strange to me.
Yeah, but I think it's supremely like tied to the Bible though.
Christianity, specifically.
Yeah, because I think that people tend to.
That's interesting.
They tend, when they read those words, they tend to take it literally, and they don't update it. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So like there hasn't been a new book of it that's come out where they rewrote it for the times that we're in now. So they tend to stick to that as like code, and a lot of times that's what throws off the balance on like people being in the open now, because there's always been these type of things from people whatever, but they've had to hide it before, or it was considered something else, like people getting sick and it being plague, or people getting sick, or people like leprosy was like larger. It was just a lot. It was a lot of things that was like more adamant then, and then like now it's been updated for us to have more information, which then should change things, which it has. It's given us different names, different vaccines, different things that make it more make it more accessible, I guess. And I think that's just the piece that needed to be updated.
I think more so what's bothered me is how much of that blame is shouldered by hip hop for homophobia in our society. Right? Hip hop's really homophobic. Hip hop's really sexist. Hip hop's really anti-women. I'd argue that is a reflection of the country, more importantly than like the world. But I'd argue that's a reflection of the world. But hip hop shouldering a lot of that blame was strange. And so when I know Frank is just one example. There's a million other examples that we could use. I'm just using him because of what Channel Orange means culturally, and Nostalgia Ultra too.
I don't know. I think at some point, yes, hip hop has definitely aged now, so it's getting older, since it was such a new thing, but it's been a mirror. It's been a mirror for society and for the streets in which it comes from. So each section that you'll have, whether it's on the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, the South, was all reflections of what was going on in that area. Because like we were listening to over the weekend the old Cash Money shit, and the lyrics that Cash Money was going with and what they was talking about, it was like, that's fucking crazy, because BG was like he was like 17 or 18 at that time, and it was like, if that was his experience at that point.
Who is this?
BG. Yeah, so I'm just talking about like hip hop's being a reflection of just what location it's coming out of. So yeah, once it became popular and mainstream, and it wasn't just regional, was when it was open to that level of criticism until it infiltrated everybody's households. Like once it got into the children, the parents can no longer like they can say whatever they want to say when they was at their jobs about hip hop, but then they go home and their children is just rapping every lyric and doing every dance that they see from that genre,
Yeah.
to the point where they were losing connection with their children. So they just started jumping into, and then they got a different affinity for it. They started to feel a little bit more where hip hop was coming from, and that's when it became, I think, major. I'm like, accepted.
So
I'm
you are,
thinking.
so are you referring to like the power? I mean, I don't know. Is it like, yo, this is powerful. We should be afraid of it, or we should be concerned, or we should ask different questions.
Yeah, and I think
Got it.
I think the power of storytelling, the type of stories that are being told, and the fact that it was reaching way beyond its region. So people in the burbs that didn't have to deal with drugs on the street, their drugs were actually coming from they was like on their campuses or on their on like the school grounds or something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be like where their drugs were coming from. So if they don't know if they don't know anything about that, but that's what they're hearing from these songs, you at first listen, you would give it a hard time. Until you lost connection with your children, you're trying to regain it, and that was the way to regain it. And then they started to get a different affinity for it because they started to understand the stories a little bit better.
So then now we're back at sort of the base. Was there a code to crack?
Yes, because I think what Frank cracked the code on was love. Yeah, but I think that's what the code was just on love in general, and I think love was very nearsighted before then.
We're still trying to figure out if there's a code to crack. We're still trying to figure out if
We're
there's a
taking
code
the
to
very long way for this code, for sure.
catch y'all up. We're Frank Ocean. Did he crack a code on sexual orientation mattering to people at all? Or is it talent? Nothing from the room?
He definitely cracked the code. I don't think so. Nobody talked about like artists being gay until.
Yeah, that was part of the debate that we were having. We were just trying to get like it into the atmosphere and see what happens, what came back.
Queen Latifah?
No, say more. Say
No,
more.
definitely.
Say more.
You know, I mean, she's definitely gay.
For sure.
But did she? So what how it started was a room full of men singing Pyramids with no problem, like none at all. You go, that's interesting, because the perception is that people, especially men, especially black men, really care about what people identify as. That's what they'll tell you, at least. Doesn't seem to matter with Frank at all. Was there a code for him to crack? And to your point, did Queen Latifah have to go above and beyond to sort of conceal anything for a while?
No, but I don't feel like Frank really went above and beyond. We just didn't really know.
We just didn't know
He's not in the limelight.
At
Still
all.
to this day.
Yeah.
So he didn't really have to crack a code because nobody really knew who he was. They just liked his music.
See?
Now, if Drake were to come out to be gay,
What you think will happen?
first of all, females would be upset. Some men would be excited.
That's
You can't lie.
That is a bar.
That's a bar. Wait, say that again.
Females would be upset. Men would be excited. Some men would be excited.
Why would men?
First of all, Drake can come out as gay.
You think that-
willy-nilly down on silly
I'm about to say, do you think that'll be the domino? Like it'll just be hella dominoes start going?
If Drake is coming out.
Yeah, like the
Swear.
studio gonna be nuts after that.
The studio.
The studio gonna be nuts, bro. Like
Literally.
you gotta put a disclaimer on the door.
Damn. So there wasn't a code to crack for Frank then. I guess is what we're getting. Is that where you at?
I'm still saying he cracked the code on love, man. I'll give him that much. And I'm going simply off of Think About You, because Think About You doesn't have like it wasn't directed at a individual. It'll be like as love actually is. So it'll be as a whole. It wouldn't be like, oh, I love a dude or I love a girl. You can just sing those lyrics and it'll be just love in general, whichever one inserts your connection to it.
Call me crazy, but I'm still going on that he was writing that for someone else. and just
That
left.
was a reference.
Yeah, and just left the reference open ended so that if a man got it, if a woman got it, they would just sing it, and then niggas went, "Oh, he's gay," and he's like, "I ain't gonna correct him," like, cause he pinned the letter, but he still didn't say
That's
anything.
been the theory though. That's been the theory because once you say that at the level that he's at and where we were at as a society at that point, you couldn't go against it. So it did give a certain level of
if he would've-
immunity to the situation.
So if he would have said something, it would have done more harm than just not saying anything at all.
Wait, what's that again?
If he goes, "No, I'm not gay," as opposed to just letting it rock.
If he's defensive about it, then that doesn't do anything for his brand.
Gotcha.
But if you just go along with it and then double down and go even harder on that shit, it opened up possibilities, connection wise, reach wise, and because truthfully, people care about sex so much that you don't have to, you don't have to actually fight against what people are saying when it comes to sex. So
Like this, cups right behind you. Go ahead, G. My bad.
yeah, so if gay sounds like it's a bigger topic for you, then just go along with that shit. Because really, who you trying to get the approval from? Because you can still if you talk to women, but people think you're gay. You can still talk to women. That's not changing what you're able to do behind the scenes. Then we're just talking about public shit.
Damn. So no. So you cracked the code on love, but ultimately people don't really, really care as much as they pretend to, or they do care more. Because I don't know. After this weekend, I'm genuinely perplexed.
I don't think they care. I don't think they actually care, but what they do care about is being able to be in the conversation. So, are we able to talk about something?
Damn.
That's all we care about.
So being
There's
in
no
on,
emotional connection to it.
being in on the combo is more important than actually giving a
That's been the important factor.
damn.
Because why do you think so many? It's overwhelming. Like that's not like it wasn't polarized. Like it wasn't arguments on both sides. It was literally just everybody on one side. Why do you think that is? Because people love to be in on the conversation, and they like to be in on the conversation. They don't like to debate. So they would rather it be overwhelming. Everybody saying the exact same thing with a very loud voice, as opposed to being a smaller voice on the other side, trying to talk against the entire group going one way, I think.
So back to that initial. I'm sorry, not the initial point, but in what we uncovered in the process is like how much. Why does hip hop shoulder so much of the blame for the collective sort of homophobia? The nation's collective homophobia and how collectively the nation treats women. Like hip hop is like the face of that shit. But the post seems to be consistent. Like niggas just have it wrong. But hip hop has to wear that badge of honor. But ultimately, the talent seems to override all that shit.
Freddie Mercury would be another example.
Huh?
From Queen,
Yeah.
because he was
But I mean,
in.
now we're. I don't want to get into that bag of just like these exceptional generational talents. Like, could you be mediocre and no one give a fuck?
No, you have to be Elton John.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. Like,
You have to be extraordinary talent.
we've used like the cream of the crop. Like,
Bobby Lights keep coming out with music.
hey,
Y'all gonna let Bobby Light in one day.
hey,
Don't do that.
Bobby here. He's not going nowhere. See, Bobby's not going
by any
nowhere.
means.
Oh man, Lex Bud, what else we got? I don't know how we. Good pick on Frank first. That was good.
You want to hear Bobby's WAP remix?
Bobby doesn't have a WAP remix.
Shit,
No way.
I ain't heard it, but it's coming out.
Bobby don't have no WAP remix. You guess it.
All right,
There is no way.
watch that nigga get that shit off.
Hey, Bobby, how uncomfortable Bobby made Charlemagne on his freestyles. The funniest. Who
Bro,
made
a lot
who
of
more
people
uncomfortable? Did Bobby like make Charlemagne more uncomfortable, or did Tyler make Funk Flex more uncomfortable?
I will go with Tyler.
I'm gonna go with Tyler too, because Tyler was tripping. He was like, "Oh, I'm about to just make Funk Flex hella uncomfortable." Because Funk Flex is like old school.
Yeah,
Like,
given who he is, yeah.
Like,
But no. I stand corrected. I think the other one. Though. I think the.
You think Bobby and Charlamagne?
I think Charlamagne.
I don't think Charlamagne was uncomfortable though.
No, I think because Charlamagne be joking about that shit,
Oh
but
yeah,
he wasn't.
and
that.
Bobby really pushed that nigga line. Like,
Bro.
what's up?
That's different. Like, yeah, you could try to play along, but what if they really not playing with you?